So this is the final, sorry, this is Mrs. Delacath again. This is the final video explaining how to convert units of measure within the US Customary System. And this time we're going to be talking about liquid measure. I said I was going to do that on the last video and we didn't get that far. I was afraid I'd run out of time. So I'm going to do it in this video. All right, so let's get started. So just a reminder, we're interested in capacity or liquid measure, and so we are focusing on this part of our chart and these magic numbers down here at the bottom especially. Oops, I just kind of drew a line through one of them, but you have that on another piece of paper. Okay, so we are interested in the fact that there are 8 ounces in a cup, 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, and 4 quarts in a gallon. Just a reminder, you have to memorize those numbers, those equivalences for each type of measure, and you need to know that when you're changing from a large unit to a smaller unit, you multiply by what I'm calling the magic number, or when you're converting from a small unit to a large unit, you have to divide by what I'm calling the magic number or the equivalent number. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to change liquid measure, volume, capacity, whatever you want to call it. How much of a liquid can fit in a specific place. So one of the things that you need to know is that we start out with ounces as our smallest unit of measure, and then it goes to cups, and then it goes to pints. That's a T. And then it goes to quarts, and finally gallons. Okay, so ounces, cups, pints, quarts, and gallons. All right, so that's going to keep us on the right track. All right, so let's get an example here, and we'll just start with one with cups. Let's say that we want to change, I don't know, 14 cups. Into pints. Actually, let's change it into ounces. We'll start with that, ounces. Oops, I'm still on the eraser. Okay, into ounces. Okay, so first of all, we know a cup is bigger than an ounce, so that means we're going to have to multiply because we need more ounces to fill up the same amount of space. And this is fluid ounces, by the way. We just don't normally say the fluid, or we actually don't write the fluid ounce part. Sometimes they do that on like canned goods or something like that, but you don't have to write that on here. So first of all, a cup's bigger than an ounce, so we need to multiply 14 by the magic number. And there are 8 ounces in 1 cup. If you go back to your chart that has that conversion factor on it, that equivalency. So we're going to multiply 14 times 8. And if you multiply 14 times 8, you get 112 ounces. So I'm going to write it up there because I don't have to do it twice. So I just multiply 14 times 8 and I get 112. That's how easy that is. Okay, but you have to have this 8 memorized, and you have to know that you need to multiply. Okay, let's get rid of that. And we'll try a more complicated, or another one. Let's say that we want to change 4.5 gallons into quarts. Oops, I better write gallons here so we know what we're doing. So I haven't done anything with any mixed numbers yet. That's okay. We're going to do it right now. So gallons are bigger than quarts. So we have to multiply because it's going to take more quarts. So we have to multiply. We have to multiply the number that we're given, 4.5, times the number of quarts in a gallon. So that magic number for quarts and gallons is 4. Now you have to remember how to multiply a whole number times a mixed number. So in order to do that, you have to change both of them into improper fractions. So now my problem says 9 over 2. 2 times 4 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. And I'm going to multiply that times 4 written as a fraction, which is 4 over 1. And this is, we're still going to use a skill that we learned before. We're going to cancel the 2 and the 4 by dividing them each by 2. And now we have 9 times 2 is 18 over 1 times 1, which is 1. So we're going to end up with 18 quarts. So just because we have a mixed number there doesn't change what we do or make it more complicated. We just change the mixed number into an improper fraction, change the whole number into an improper fraction, and then we can still do it. Okay? So let's get rid of that. And now we're going to do one that's a little bit more complicated. And you will be asked to do this in the practice as well as on your test. Okay, so let's say that we want to change, I don't know, let's go with 12 gallons into cups. You know what, let's just go for it. Let's just change it all into ounces. Find out how many ounces there are in 12 gallons. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but I didn't tell you how many ounces there are in a gallon. But what I did tell you is how many quarts there are in a gallon, how many pints there are in a quart, how many cups there are in a pint, and how many ounces there are in a cup. So this is going to be a many-step problem. First, we're going to change this gallons. We're going to go, and I'm just going to use the first letter. We're going to change gallons into quarts. Then we're going to change quarts into pints, because those are the numbers that I've given you. Oops, I forgot the, I'm just going to use the first letter. I forgot I said that. We're going to change pints into cups. And then we're going to change cups into ounces. So that's how we're going to get there. We're going to do all these conversions. So to change gallons into quarts, we're going to multiply the number of gallons, which is 12, times 4, because there are the magic number for quarts and gallons. There are 4 quarts in a gallon, so that's 48. So that's 48 quarts. Okay, so then we're going to change that 48 quarts into pints. So we're going to, there are 2 pints in a quart. Again, we're going to multiply. So you're going to multiply that times 2. And 48 quarts equals 96 pints. I have to go down to the next line. Okay, so now I'm to pints. So I'm done with that. I'm done with that. And now I have pints. So now I want to change pints into cups. So to change pints into cups, I'm going to take 96 and multiply that by 2, because there are 2 cups in a pint, and that is 192 cups. But we're not, why stop there when we're on a roll? So finally, we're going to change those cups into ounces. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to multiply 192 by 8, because there are 8 ounces in a cup. And 192 times 8 is 1,536 ounces. That's crazy. So 12 gallons is the same thing as 1,536 ounces. So it took us 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to get there. That's okay. Wasn't really that difficult. The only one I actually had to work out to the side was this. If you have to work them all out to the side, you go right ahead. I just didn't have enough room here. You can see what I did. So remember, the things that you need to remember how many ounces there are in a cup, how many cups there are in a pint, how many pints there are in a quart, how many quarts there are in a gallon. And you need to remember that if you're going from a big unit to a small unit, you multiply. If you're going from a small unit to a big unit, you always divide. Good luck!